Hello, my name is Geraldine. We're going on a solo trip. Heading up to Pennsylvania to a couple of brook trout streams that Uncle Canada has been to before. I've never had such luck as to go there. He's taken a few solo trips up there and had some success. Both areas look really cool just based on knowing the geography, and it's very close to our stomping grounds. We're gonna find a campsite, might have to stealth. There are state game lands and primitive camping around there, but might have to stealth. We'll have to see. Got the tent, got the stove. We're gonna be cooking, we're gonna be eating. Brookies, brownies, 2 streams I've never been to, going solo. Let's get out of here. Mother Allegheny. Definitely a little high and a little muddy. Not as bad as I expected. We're not fishing her today, but there she is. Only been up on her one time this year, unfortunately. The water's just been extraordinarily low. Gonna get my gear on and hike in. Looks like these boots are on their last leg as well. Seam busted. I did not notice that last time I put them on, so it must have happened last weekend. So 2 years out of the socks, 2 years out of the boots. These will be the one of, if not the final missions in my desired footwear. Next couple days are the hottest of the year. That's kind of the issue with beating the crap out of your gear, is you take as good of care of it as you possibly can, but when you use the stuff as much as we do, it's eventually going to fail. So not that upset about the boots and socks, but it's just kind of the harsh reality. You know, if you only get out once or twice a year, they'll last forever. When you get out 2-3 times a month for a couple years, eventually they're going to blow out. That guy just drove by and flipped me off. I don't know why. And then he smiled and gave me a thumbs up. That's kind of rude or funny. I don't know. Ooh, it's going to be a very moist day. Very, very moist. But I'm all squared up. Let's get out there. It's hot. Holy crap, it's hot. And we ran into an issue. No way I'm getting the bike around this. Okay, I think I'm gonna stash the bike down there and just hike the rest of the way. Shouldn't be that much further anyway, but don't really have a choice. Yeah, I mean, there's no way to get the bike up around this. I mean, I guess I could, but that would be a fool's errand. So we're gonna go down and around. Whoa, this is steep. Whew. What a mission. Not getting around that. Well, I believe we're over halfway there. I'll just walk the rest of the way. Good old Allegheny right next door. Moist Kevin. All right, so we made it. Oh, and the water looks perfect. A little high, not very stained. So the mouth is right there just beyond those shrubberies. The Allegheny you could see. We're going up. So there's a path that looks like it follows it. I think I'm gonna stick to the creek, see what we can see. Like I said, this is a brand new spot for me. Canada's fished here several times, but I never came with him. He takes a lot of solo trips too. We'll kind of just go on the fly, I guess pun intended. So see how I do. And here we are. Kind of just tried this little hole right here. Nothing in there. We're still very, very flat down here, though. I'm gonna continue working my way up. Really like the water clarity, though. It's a tiny bit stained. Definitely moving a little more than it probably normally is, but I'm slow going. There's this nice trail that I'm on because these are state game land hiking trails, which is nice because I can see the creek without having to get in the thicket, but I'm literally dripping sweat and I'm not even moving. I brought a big sandwich to eat as soon as I got here. It's so hot I don't have an appetite, so I'm gonna get up here a bit and hit a few holes and try and sit down and have lunch. But it's beautiful in the shade, nice breeze. Check out some of these holes. All right, well, good sign. I just literally lost one right here. This hole behind me. Gonna change up my flies real quick. I'm sweating so bad, I'm not even moving. But I did just lose one on the top fly. That's a good sign. I'm still really, really low. Little pools everywhere. Try throwing one up in here. Sweaty Grigio. There's definitely a learning curve hitting these very small holes. They cover some ground. I've hit probably 5 or 6 holes so far. I did lose one. I think I had a bite at this previous hole, but one rose right at my top fly. Saw him, but my bottom fly was snagged up on some debris right at the bottom of the pool. So 2 actions. Only been out here about 45 minutes. Covered some ground. It's a big chore kind of trying to set up the tripod and film, because if I get into a fish, get him out of the net, unhook and all that, and then want to show him off, I'm by myself. Skunk broken. Oops. Tiny little guy. We're going to get him back in though. His name's going to be Uncle Canada, in honor of Uncle Canada. So tiny little brookie, but that's what we're out here for. Skunk broken. Made the whole trip worth it. Sorry, this video sucks, but situation is I'm sweating. I'm hungry. I have to take a dump. I just caught my first brookie. Skunk broken, pressure's off. Didn't even expect to catch him there. He was only about 3 inches, but okay. Skunk broken. I'm gonna go take a poop. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna relax for 20 minutes and cool down, and then all right, game on. Nice. Whew, nice. I'm excited. Beautiful. Yes. Just took the dump like I promised, and it was kind of like birthing an orc sideways. Now I got a Sheets breakfast sandwich for lunch. And yeah. So very enjoyable out here. Caught a brook. And look at this beautiful eddy I'm sitting at in front of this nice rapid. I definitely feel like I'm more like in the zone, maybe less aware of what's going on around me, but more focused on the fishing. But yeah, it's definitely a different experience. I've taken the boat out by myself a few dozen times, but being out here hiking and making my own decisions, just kind of being out here alone. Cool little suspension bridge here, reminiscent of the Savage. Cool little bridge to cross. I didn't even need to cross it. I was already on the other side, but woo, woo, woo. Oh, it's really slippery. Definitely getting steeper up here. A lot of windfalls too. Kind of makes it hard to pass and see what's upstream. I'm sticking to the creek for now. Try and see what's what. It's definitely getting steeper. I'm gonna take a leisurely stroll up. Another cool little suspension bridge. All right, there's some more good looking stuff up there. I'm gonna skip this bridge. Actually, you know what? No, I'll go across the bridge and work it from that side. Another one. Woo, 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 woo. It is beautiful out here, though. Definitely small water, but there's fish in here. Name of the game with these brookies is stealth. Some of these spots, it's super easy to be stealthy, and I can fish them from 30, 40 feet away, but some of the better looking holes, I have to be right on top of them. And I know, being light-footed, and of course I'm wearing a white shirt, which doesn't help. It's kind of pick your battles. I'm not going to skip a nice looking hole just because I can't be in the exact distance that some purists would say is necessary. But at the same time, obviously, yeah, it puts you at a disadvantage. Two little plungies, nice big eddy. If I was a brook trout, I'd be hanging out in there. Pulled out 2 sticks in my first 4 casts. So you're probably asking yourself, and I'm asking myself, why even bother trying to continue to fish it when clearly I spooked whatever was in there? And the answer is I have no idea, because I wanted to. Move along. Covered a lot of ground. Nice to see some fish rising. Nice to get some action. Glad I caught the one. Hoping to get a couple more. It's only about 3:30. Can go a couple more hours for sure. I'm sweating so bad. These bugs are absolutely ruthless. I'm not even really hiking that hard. I'm not like tired from hiking. It's been pretty easy going for how steep it is in here. But I had to stop and take about a 10-minute break, gather myself, and I had to reapply the bug spray because I'm just sweating it off. That's like the 4th or 5th time I put it on, and they're still just coming right at my face. So here's where it splits. I didn't see this one marked on the map, but it's clearly coming from up that valley up there. This is the creek I'm fishing. The path kind of goes up this way. There is a path that follows this, so I'm gonna go up that way a little bit longer. So I've walked up 100 yards or so after the split. This is definitely getting a lot smaller, like a lot smaller. Nice campsite up here. Couple old fire rings. Nice big clearing. if you were doing these hikes or whatever, or even doing what I'm doing, bringing all your gear, pretty cool. You can tell this has been here for a while. Cool benches, firing, no trash either, which is nice. I'm gonna meander up a little bit further, then probably turn around and head back down. Cool spot though, but just to get up to this point, I'm talking at least a 3-hour hike, maybe a little less if you're not fishing, but definitely a perfect spot to be. So I literally just had one on right there. Went to pick up my rod tip, got tangled in the tree. I just lost one, literally just lost one. As soon as I set the camera down and took a cast, first cast, literally fly was right here. Saw him come up, took it down, went to set, right into these branches. Isn't that lovely? But see, there's one more plunge pull up there I want to try. You can see it's getting real steep up in here, real skinny. Every time we go for wild trout, the Savage here, other places, you don't get them back. You get them on and you lose them or you spook them and they're not coming back. The stockers, you can get them 5 times in a row, but these wilderness trout, they don't come back. They do not come back. And I've learned that the hard way 3 or 4 times today. I'll throw a line or 2 in there just for fun. Let's check it out from above real quick. But then, yeah, this, you can see the terrain just changed hardcore. I'm gonna get down in there and try and get a couple in there, and then we will head back down this time. Okay, well, we just lost our entire setup. Called the last spot down there. Should have just went out with my flies, but all the way up to my leader, so she's in a tree. Gonna call it a spot here. It's amazing how much ground you can cover in one day hiking up these small streams. And then on the way down, I mean, I'm just walking normal pace. I've already breezed through 30-40% of what I fished just in the last 15 minutes of straight walking. So I know I did cover a ton of ground today. That's very obvious, but heading back down, it's crazy. If you're into hiking, this is definitely a good place to be, the western side of PA. Check out the maps or the net, but just this trail alone, big loops, all kinds of stuff around here. Ooh, this one's real rickety. I consider this a hardcore trout mission. I drove 2.5 hours. I hiked 5 hours, fished for 5 hours. Now I'm hiking, blah, blah, blah. I consider that a hardcore day. But first day alone doing this, I enjoyed it. Nothing beats fishing with your friends, but I had the vacation days, have a lot going on in my personal life. I'm like, let me just get out there. Looking forward to nestling down tonight, hunkering down. Shout out to Steve Wallace, my boy Steve. I will fish and camp with him one day. Made it back to the Allegheny River, aka the mouth. Ow, that really hurt. Prickers. So now let's hope my bike is still there. So this tree probably came down in the storm we had last night. It was a really, really bad thunderstorm over northeast Ohio. You could tell it had just come down. And within 24 hours, they cleared it. And my bike is still here. Ooh. All right, well, thank you to the bike and whoever cleared that. So if my name was Douglas, you could call me Spent Douglas. Or Spent Thy. I don't know, that doesn't flow. Spent Douglas. I've been by here probably 2-3 dozen times with Uncle Canada, but we just never stopped. Don't ask me why. But what a view. Woo, I don't like that. That's a drop if I've ever seen one, but good old Allegheny River. Conserve and be good stewards. Not like Lord Denethor, the steward of Gondor. He has no right to deny the return of the king. So I'm about 5 minutes from where I planned to camp. And right up here is where I'm planning on starting tomorrow. I've never been to this spot before at all, but there's this turnout here and what looks to be a perfect campsite. So this is where I planned to start tomorrow. I already had this mapped out. So this is the road access spot that I plan to start tomorrow on this other creek. It just happened to be on the way to the area I was looking to camp. Looks frothy too, smaller than the other spot, but I already see a couple holes down in there. I don't know if I'm gonna go upstream or downstream, I'm not really sure. But as I was coming up on this, I've never been here before to this spot. There's this turnoff right here and looks to be as good of a spot as any to camp. It's right off this road, but this isn't a main road by any means at all. But yeah, I got the truck down here. Perfect spot for a tent site. Gonna be cooking and living out of the truck. Just gonna sleep in my tent. This seems as good as anything. You are allowed to primitive camp in a lot of areas in Western PA. Where I'm at now, I don't think you're allowed to. Don't quote me on that. I don't believe so. But at the same time, you know, stealthing. I'm just out here for one night with my tent so I can get up at sunrise, cook breakfast, and go fishing. I don't see any posted signs or anything, and that creek is right there. Let me walk down this way a little bit. The truck's right here. The stream is literally right there. I think I'm just gonna stay here. So super nice, cozy, just essentially truck camping, but I'm gonna sleep in my tent. For dinner tonight, shout out to the old Oscar back in action. Going to be making a breakfast sandwich for dinner. And then tomorrow some corned beef hash, eggs, and bacon for dinner. And just, oh, look at that. I'm honestly jealous for Uncle Canada not being here to enjoy this. Ooh. I honestly feel bad that I'm about to enjoy this by myself. Nice and deluxe egg patties, fried eggs. Ooh. I've indulged on a few pieces while waiting, and it's got the little pepperoncini accoutrement. Let that cool down for like 5 minutes. Pepperoncini accoutrement. Pepperoncini, so delicious. That was basically like going to your favorite Italian restaurant or Mexican restaurant, and they serve you a delicious breakfast sandwich. And you're like, this isn't Mexican or Italian. And they're like, okay. I'm like, yeah, okay. Get it? Okay. It's beautiful out though. Bluebird now. Cooled down a bit, but it's still humid. It's going to be a warm sleep tonight. And yeah, literally the stream for tomorrow is right there. Well, we're all set up. I am sweating my bollocks off again, but about as inconspicuous as it gets. Hopefully nobody around here wants to ask me why I'm camping here, but there's posted signs everywhere, but just nowhere within like 500 yards either direction up the road of here, nor here. There's a fire ring over there. There's another campsite fire ring that's been used recently down there. And I've already picked up a lot of trash, so if that gives me any cosmic karma. Nice little cozy spot for the night. Excited to get up and fish that tomorrow. See some holes up in there. Definitely a little bit of a worn trail along the bank. Tell people have been here somewhat recently. Leave it better than you found it. Okay, this is where it gets kind of real. I'm settled in, but I'm starting to have an anxiety attack. I'm starting to have severe anxiety, something that I've suffered from for a long time. Need to calm myself down. Everything's fine. I had a good day. See, this is where it's really hitting me now. Not good. I think I just need to drink some water. I think I'm just hot. I don't want to pack up and go. I've suffered from this for too long. I need to get this under control. Please. It's getting worse. when I get like this, I just want to be home in my space, in my safe space. And right now everything's telling me to go home. I don't want to go home. I don't know what to do. My anxiety is through the roof. I'm already set up. I don't know. What would you do if you were me? Well, I hate to do it, but I'm calling it. I'm going to head home. My anxiety is just too bad. I just can't deal with it. I just can't deal with it. I'm going to go home. It's like 8:30. I just know that if I lay down, I'm not going to be able to go to sleep. My anxiety is too bad. I don't know why this happens, but it does. There's been mornings where Canada and I are supposed to go out, and the night before I have a panic attack, I'm up all night, or I wake up in the morning and just have severe anxiety and I've canceled on him. It hasn't happened in a while, but now I'm out here and I'm having a panic attack. I have to call it. I have to go home. I have to go home.